Mr. Moderator, distinguished host, fellow panelists, and young leaders, it's an honor to be here with you today. Congratulations on being selected to participate in this amazing assembly and on your commitment to making the world a better place. The fact that you're here means at least two things. First, that you share a passion for collaborating with others, for listening to others, and for being able to visualize innovative approaches to solving the world's problems. And second, that you have demonstrated the ability to transform your vision into meaningful action. In my remarks today, I'll try to illustrate how I've interwoven my personal values with my approach to corporate leadership. I work for a company, IBM, that has interlaced its commitment to service and the community with its overall business practices for 105 years. In an industry where companies have come and gone in months, 105 years is a long time to survive and prosper. But IBM has survived and prospered, primarily because of two vitally important things: the ability to embrace change and do so quickly enough to stay ahead of emerging markets, and the willingness to maintain the core set of values that centers us no matter how much or how fast change occurs. Those values include commitments to trust and personal responsibility, to sound business ethics and strong corporate citizenship, and to using our innovative expertise to achieve results that matter to the world, not just to our clients. Instead of starting at the top and then trickling down through the organization, IBM's corporate culture manifests in each and every IBMer. Our corporate culture is not centered on products or businesses, as you might imagine, but instead it's founded on a set of shared beliefs about IBM's place in the world and our responsibility to that world. However, to maintain a values-based corporate culture, a company must have leaders that embrace and emulate their values. Our CEO, Ginny Rometty, who is the first woman to lead IBM, does just that. She speaks directly to our values when she says, systemic transformation is the core responsibility of every IBM CEO and every generation of IBMers. It requires both a long view of history and a systemic and collaborative approach, spanning business, government, and civil society. And it is grounded in clarity on what must change and what must endure. This work never ends, and it is why generation after generation of the world's most brilliant men and women come to work at IBM, and I hope some of you will choose to do that. They are IBMers because they seek not to just make a living, but a difference in their communities throughout the world. In a global economy obsessed with quarterly results, how many CEOs do you hear talking about maintaining values over the long term? In my role at IBM, I am part of a global team of professionals dedicated to working with governments, not-for-profits, communities, and business partners to identify and solve the toughest challenges that no single entity can solve alone. We're helping developing economies and troubled cities find new ways to make life better for their citizens. We're helping to bring new opportunities to young people by reshaping the way education prepares them for the 21st century jobs. And one of the things I'm proudest of, we're using IBM's advanced technologies to help communities and nations in need when natural disaster strikes and when people are displaced by political upheaval. IBM has nearly 400,000 employees, and while many of you may never have to navigate an organization that large and complex, the skills needed to do so translate to groups of all sizes, all the way down to one-on-one partnerships. Earlier in my IBM career, I was fortunate to be honored with an Eisenhower Fellowship to the European Union and Ireland. That fellowship was among my first exposures to the challenges of developing the cultural awareness needed to succeed in a global marketplace. Fellowship projects require successful results through partnership and collaboration. I know you hear those terms a lot, but the value of partnerships cannot be overstated. The problems the world faces are just too big, too complex, and moving too fast for any single person, leader, or group to accomplish anything meaningful alone. As the leader of IBM's corporate volunteerism initiative, and as IBM's executive representative on Impact 2030, I have the opportunity to inspire and empower our volunteers globally, of which we have 280,000, to seek to improve gender equality, education, healthcare, and environmental sustainability. Impact 2030 is a private sector-led initiative to align corporate volunteerism to the Sustainable Development Goals. We know that achieving these goals will have a positive effect on every person on the planet. But what we need to learn by listening to each other, by working together, and by forming effective partnerships is how to bring about these transformations in the face of limited resources in a constantly developing world. You've already been identified as young leaders with strong moral character. So I want to thank you for being who you are, for your willingness to transcend boundaries to effect positive change, and for the tremendous good that you do now and will do in the future. But as you participate in this summit, my challenge to you is to be open to new ideas while sharing your best thinking. Be ready and willing to contribute while accepting the wisdom and experienced advice of others. And above all, be true to your values. Because in a world where everything constantly changes, the only foundation that any of us has is a set of values that enables us to see through the haze of distraction and stay focused on our commitment to humanity. Thank you very much for your kind attention.